Data BI SQL. So in today's video, right, we'll go through the part 3 of the restaurant management system data analyst interview question series. So I have already made a couple of parts. The first part I created the tables and inserted the data in that. So you please refer to part 1 if you want to uh, view the tables and the data inside it the way I'm saying it, right? You can just copy paste in Postgres and then you will see the same data I'm covering in these videos. So I highly recommend going to part 1, copying the scripts from the description and the comment section, and then after that looking at this video, right? Otherwise, you will not be able to understand what tables are there and what data is there in the tables. So let's go ahead with today's video, right? The table that we are going to use today is the reservation table. So as you can see that this table pretty straightforward, right? I mean, what's the reservation ID, which customer reserved the table, and then what was the reservation date and what was the party size, right? So party size means like for each reservation, right? I mean, how many guests you invited. It is 4, 6, 8, 20, 30, right? I mean, it's a typical, you can consider probably if you're in US, you can see Olive Garden, right? I mean, it's one of the restaurant that you can do the reservation, right? So pretty simple table, right? So first question is show those reservations made between 1st August to 31st August, right? So basically here, see, as a data analyst, right? I mean, you need to understand the job duties. So basically what comes in the job duties of data analyst is basically you need to analyze the data, right? And find out the trends out of that data. But before that, you need to pull the data, right? I mean, you need to pull the data either through building dashboards in Tableau and Power BI, or you need to or you need to write a SQL to get the data first, right? So this is the first part of it, right? I mean, you need to know how to pull the data from the database, right? I mean, you can't just keep on going to engineers and ask them, oh, I need this data today, I need this data tomorrow, right? I mean, engineers have their job to build ETL jobs and data pipelines, right? Excuse me. So in this case, right, I mean, you need to write a basic SQL, right, to pull the data. So consider the Olive Garden system, right? I mean, the Olive Garden restaurant, I mean, it has, I mean, how many chains? Maybe 500 chains, more than that, maybe throughout the US, if not 200, 300 chains, right? And then each of the stores change, I mean, store, the number of location. So if you are going to analyze the data for a one store, right? Let's say in California, right? San Jose, California. San Jose, California might have 5 stores, right, of Olive Garden. Let's take an example, okay? Then, for each of the store, there's definitely a lot of reservation, right? Especially in the weekend, especially during this holiday time, you get so many reservations almost every day, right? So think about that system and then extrapolate that store data. Let's say you are storing the data in the data warehouse for 5 years. So imagine what kind of how many transactions it will have, right? So it will huge, and then they say, as a data analyst, you need to analyze the data for entire California. Okay, then what happens? Then that records multiply. Then they say you need to analyze the data for entire Western region, entire US. Then what happens? It's multiplication of the transaction, right? So you need to know how to slice and dice the data. Okay, so for that, how will you slice and dice the data? You will do it with a filter, right? So let's say they say I want to analyze, like, for 1 year what was the sales for this restaurant in California for last 1 year, right? There is a data in the data warehouse is stored for 5 years, but I just need to find a range, right? Or for 1 month, the month of August, right? So if you see here, that's the question, right? That find out the reservation for me which happened in the month of August. Let's say, in the month of August, the sales dip because there was no event, no holidays, nothing, right? I mean, summer is over, schools are started. So I want to see the trend for that particular month, how many people still came and did the reservation, right? So that's where, they are asking you to do the range of data, right? So here they are asking between 1st August to 31st August, right? So here, so what we'll do is select star from reservations where reservation date between, right? Between is the one that they are testing your capability between this and this date. Why? Because see, August month, you can still say month, but let's say they tell you, give me the school started on 5th of August. Give me the data between 5th of August to probably 30th of September, right? I want to look at that data, for example. Okay. Then you can change the date and you can see that between August 5th and December 30th, how many reservations happened, right? So typical, right? I mean, here they asked you between 1 to 31st, correct? August. So as we saw, there were 5 records in the month of August, right? So 5 should come up here, right? 4 records, sorry, 10 to 30th August, right? So this is first capability of filtering. Excuse me, guys, sorry. And then second is show the total number of reservations made each month, right? So here they want to see on an average, right? Not an average, every month how many reservation I'm getting, right? You know, and here they did not tell you a year, but let's say if that there's 5 years of data, right? They might tell you to put year also. Like give me the trend for each month for last 3 years, right? Then you will say, okay, last 3 years means 2023, 2022, and 2021, right? Okay. But in this case, as you see, we only have a data for 2023. So a year doesn't make sense in this. But I'm saying if you're working with larger data set, they might tell you to, analyze data for particular years. Then you need to put a filter, okay? But in this case, they are saying that total number of reservation made each month. So made each month means what? They're asking you to group by the data by month, right? So immediately it should click in your mind that group by is being asked, okay? And then total number of reservation. That means total number means they're asking for a count, okay? Excuse me. So here, if you see, I put year also, okay, just to make sure, because if there are if they did not if you have more than 1 year, let's say you have 2022 also, then you will not be able to see, right, which year it was. That's why I need to put a year. And here, if you see, I use the extract year from reservation date, okay. Why? Because in Postgres it work like that. If you're using SQL Server, it will be just year and then bracket and reservation date. Okay, that will work. But in Postgres, you need to write this command. You can search Google and see, whatever database you're using, right? Like, how to extract a year from a date in Postgres, how to extract a year from a date in SQL Server. You will get the command, okay? So extract year, what it will do, it will extract the year. This will extract a month. And then we need to do count, right? So count of what? Reservation ID, right? Because we need to find out the reservation ID for each month, correct? From reservation, group by, we need to put both because, whatever you have apart from the count, you need to group by that. So we are group buying by year and month, right? And then order by month, okay? Just to clean up the data or just to show the data in a proper format, we are doing order by, okay? So here you can see we saw, right, in month of August when we did this, it was 4 count. Same 9 is 6, 6 and 5, right? So basically we are giving them the result that for each of this month, the reservations basically were 4, 6, 6 and 5. Okay. So what capability they tested here? They tested your capability to pull out a year and month from a date. They tested your capability of a count function. They tested the capability of group by, and then order by they didn't ask, but then it's just a way of showing that you're writing a SQL, right? So you need to put order by also, okay, so that data is in a presentable format, okay. So that's it for it today, guys. I request you guys to please subscribe to my channel and like my videos if it is helping you, right? I mean, these are kind of the questions which kind of are getting asked very frequently, right? I mean, one of the count function or some function, right, or rank will definitely get asked in this interviews, okay? So thank you, guys.